My process for forgiveness is a little bit different than even probably what's taught. The Bible tells us that we need to forgive, and we do, but I quit trying to forgive. I just gave up. I didn't have it in me, and I was sick of trying to act like I did. And I wanted to forgive lots of times, but I could not seem to access forgiveness, and so I gave up. And I just showed up every day and spent time alone with God. And I did what the therapist said, and I did all those things. I went to counseling, but I also learned that you can go to Christian counseling once a week and inch God right out of that if you want to. And I kept Christ the center, truly, of my healing process. I talked to Him the way that I talked to my friends and to my therapist. I just began telling Him everything. And what happened was, it's the very presence of God that transforms us. And how we're feeling that day has very little to do with what He can accomplish in our hearts if we'll just come with a transparent heart. And so I just showed up every day. If I was mad, I told Him I was mad. If I needed to cry, I cried. And little by little, what happened was the presence of God is so pure and wonderful and good, and there's absolutely no condemnation. In His gracious presence, in the middle of all that, I became aware of my sinful reactions to the abuse, how I treated my children at times, how I treated the people that I love the most. And I didn't like what I saw. But there was no condemnation. And I began talking to Him about those things, and I let Him minister to me. And He began changing me from the inside out, and He began healing me. And all of a sudden, and it took a couple of years really, I was healed to a measure where I knew in my heart He was asking me to forgive. And for the first time in my life, I had it to give. It was like finding money in your pocket. Hey, how'd that get there? It was just there because He put it there. And it was really quite beautiful, and it wasn't a struggle anymore to forgive. What was a struggle was trusting Him with my pain. But once that was accomplished and He healed me, I could, in fact, forgive. And I have this theory from this that a gaping wound is incapable of forgiving and probably shouldn't try. It took a couple of years, but it was just there for me, the way grace is there for me, when I finally just stopped trying to accomplish things that I didn't have the strength to accomplish.